Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor and I am your host, and I am not God, obviously. I am not an expert. I'm not a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone, hoping God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the one and only daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. I'm so happy you're here today. Today, I'd like to tell you about a conversation I had with friends in the booth of a Chili's in December. I consider Chili's to be a sacred space, and the conversations that happen there rarely leave that sacred space. But I want to tell you, I was at a table with two of my close friends, and I was sobbing. I was sobbing at Chili's, and I told them, I'm just so tired of choosing to believe. I just want to actually believe. I just want what other people have. I want real faith. I want a testimony. I want to know that God is real. I want to know that what I'm doing is right. I want to believe in this stuff. I want to really, truly believe in it, not just choose it. And my friend looked at me and she said, I think that you believe more than you think you do. I remember thinking, I'm sacrificing so much for this. I'm giving so much of my time and energy and capacity and heart and soul to this effort of believing, of choosing this. I'm fighting with everything I have to choose to believe this. And I'm just so jealous of people who have so much conviction and actual belief in this stuff that has to make it easier to sacrifice this much. Actually believing in something has to make it easier to sacrifice than just choosing to believe something, because the choice itself feels like a sacrifice. So my baseline feels exhausting. And that's where I was in December. And I just said, I'm going to keep choosing it, but I'm so tired of choosing it. I just want to actually believe it. When do I actually get to believe it instead of just choose it? And these friends are people who I view as believers, and they are people whose faith has really been a strength to me over these last few years. And I appreciate their faith and their conviction and their belief and their unwavering support of God and my journey. And so they're people that I like to talk about this with because I want what they have. That's how it feels. I want what they have. But the more that I've gotten to know people like them, and the more I've gotten honest about what I believe, the deficit actually isn't that huge. The gap's not that wide. Believing crossing over into knowing happens pretty silently and without notice. And it can be hard to take inventory of that. It can be hard to notice that transformation. But little by little, these last few months, I've just been noticing that I believe more than I think I do. And that I'm doing more and more out of belief and less out of choice. And there are still times, and this is when I think it's really triggering for me when things get hard and I feel like I'm kind of thrown back to a place of, is any of this real? I don't know about any of this. I'm a person who will always go there. I go existential habitually, maybe more than out of necessity, and I'm working on that. But maybe one day I will fully believe more effortlessly. But I will say, as I have dared to go all in this new way, I have gone further in to faith than I ever anticipated or planned or wanted. But in doing that, the belief comes easier and feels more like a belief and less like a choice. It feels more automatic. It feels more true. It feels brand new because my motivations are so different for choosing faith and religion now. My motivations for why I participate in what I participate in, why I do what I do, why I give what I give are very different. And none of them are based on seeking eternal reward or being perceived as better than or feeling superior. It's all come through wanting so desperately for other people to feel loved and safe and seen by God. And when I prioritize that, I have just noticed that the habits and the choices that come along with that are more, quote, all-in choices with faith. And still it's tempting to just keep one foot out. Even when I came back to faith, came back to religion, I kept one foot on that bank. And this podcast and the book that's launching is a big part of me deciding to take that foot off the bank and step both feet in the freaking ice cold river. Cold plunge. A cold plunge for the soul. That is what this feels like. Going public, saying I believe in God, going public, saying I choose religion, is so much scarier than I think it should be. I think it's laughable how big I reacted to, like, I can't tell anyone that. I can't come out as a God person. It really felt terrifying, but it kind of was the last step of the cold plunge for my soul of being like, I am choosing this. This is who I am. Right now, this is who I am. I am a person who participates in religion. I'm a person who believes in God. I'm a person who's prioritizing faith. I'm a person who's choosing divinity. I'm a person who's doing this. This is what I'm choosing. And when I was able to make that full jump in is when I really started to see belief become a little bit more effortless. I still fight for it. I still work for it. I still have my days like last Sunday where I'm like, dang it, none of this is real. None of this is true. Shoot, what are we going to do? I still have those days. And I still have a hard time saying I know anything because I don't think anybody knows anything. But when I dared to go all in, when I dared to cold plunge my soul into faith and saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm choosing, the choice has become a little bit easier and belief has felt a little bit more natural. But I just want to be very clear that in December, I cried in Chili's and I just was like, I'm so tired of choosing. And so I'm over here. It's more fun to believe. Choose to believe. It's a choice. Yes. And it's exhausting and it's hard and it's more fun to have faith come effortlessly. But for those of us where it doesn't, it's more fun to believe, and belief is built on choice. So keep choosing it. Keep finding ways to make that choice sustainable and maybe dare to jump all in and see if that helps. And if you say, oh, I've been all in before and it was terrible, we're not returning to anything. We're rebuilding. It will be new. Even if you return to the same religion, even if you return to the, not even religion, even if you return to the same belief system, the same faith, even if the habits are the same, the rituals are the same, the practices are the same, it will feel brand new because you're different. Your motivations are different. Your perspective is different. It will not feel like returning. It will feel like rebuilding. But if you keep that one foot on the bank, I know it feels cooler and more stable and safer, but maybe just try taking the foot off, cold plunging your soul and seeing if that makes it easier. It's hard to keep choosing. It is really, really tiring and it will really test you, but I think you can do it. Love you. Bye.